Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft-serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
out to right field. Jeremy Knight's there. He's calm. He makes a catch. And there's 3 outs. At the end of 1.5, we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Kindred Vikings will come to bat.
They're working on it. You want to come look at the plug-ins? It's there, right here. You're there. We'll keep trying. I think I hear it.
Yep.
Come back in.
And we're back. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Devils Lake Storm in town to take on the Kindred Vikings, post 117. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier, bringing you American Legion baseball, Class A level. Ben Larson, starting pitcher for the Storm, comes out and throws 4 pitches and gets through the inning. 2 batters out on 1 pitch. He'll face Stanley Belaski, Graham Hess, and Max Bernier in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 0-0. No runs and a hit for the Storm. Vikings, no runs, no hits. Neither team has committed an error.
The Vikings here in the 2nd. Number 0, shortstop, Stanley Belaski.
Stanley Belaski steps to the plate. Beautiful play by Stanley, turned in defensively. He'll bat, bottom of the 2nd inning. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. And the pitch to Belaski. Breaking ball is in there for a strike as well. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, swing and a foul at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Ben Larson on the mound. And the pitch off speed, hit high in the air. Shallow center field. On comes the center fielder Olson. He calmly makes the catch. Man, that guy can cover a lot of ground out in center field. Foston Olson out in center field has made 2 fine running catches. Covers a lot of ground, as any good center fielder should. Graham Hess steps to the plate. Where's number 45 with the American jerseys? Takes a first pitch fastball outside. 1-0 the count. Now here's a pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. And the pitch. Looked like a breaking ball away. 2 balls and a strike. So Larson up to 8 pitches now in this inning, where he threw 4 in the first inning. So he doubled his mark already. This pitch is fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Graham Hess. There's a high fly ball. This one's to center field. Olson is there. Doesn't have nearly as far to run as he did before. He camps underneath this one, makes a catch, and there's 2 away. Max Bernier steps to the plate. 5 up, 5 down for Larson. Here's the set and the pitch from Larson. Out of the full windup, fastball in there for a strike. I think Max was taken all the way. He recognized that pitchers had some pretty quick innings here. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball away, 1 ball and a strike. Jeremy Knight would be next. And here's the set and the pitch. Fastball misses. 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1. Fastball swinging a line drive into center field, but guess who's out there? Mr. Olson camps underneath it and makes a catch. Max hit it hard, but he's down. 3 fly balls to the center fielder. And at the end of 2, we're tied at 0.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
We're back to Kindred Vikings Baseball on yourliveevent.com.
We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Will Heilman will lead off the inning. He'll be followed by Landon Sundin and Easton Kraft. Both pitchers threw up a couple of zeros in the first 2 innings. 3 fly balls to center field for the Kindred Vikings in that second inning. That makes 4 on the evening, so we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Will Heilman, the left fielder, will step to the plate against Jack McDonald. McDonald has thrown 29 pitches. Again, a beautiful night. The wind blowing in from I would say from left center.
Yeah, a couple great nights of baseball. We were over at the Pro Egg yesterday doing a Little League night, and they've got ice cream and pizza tonight.
Here's a swing and a miss by Heilman. Looked like a breaking ball from McDonald. Donald looks on. Rocks and fires, fastball away. 1 ball and a strike. No runs and a hit for the Storm. No runs, no hits for the Vikings. Here's the set and the pitch by McDonald. Breaking ball is in there for a strike.
Hey, 6 in it.
Donald looks on, trying to work quickly. Here's a fastball, high fly ball. Fairly deep center field. Brady Baumgart is there, and he tracks it down. And there's 1 away. McDonald has set down 4 in a row. Mason Palmer singled, but he was promptly thrown out stealing. It's been the only base runner of the game. However, McDonald has faced the minimum because he was thrown out stealing, so he's only faced 7 batters. That'll bring up Landon Sundin, the first baseman. Where's number 13? Takes a strike. Easton Kraft is on deck. Here's McDonald. There's a high fly ball into left field. Carson Getty's got it measured. He makes a catch. And there's 2 away. Wendy, both pitchers moving very quickly tonight. And
this is a fast game so far.
We're already in the top of the 3rd inning. Easton Kraft will be the batter. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike.
Yeah, and I should address we had a little bit of technical difficulty. Yesterday we took it all mobile. We took this get up over and we're mobile over at Pro Egg and brought it back tonight. And
there's a little looper into shallow center field, and Traum made a valiant effort at second base, but it looped in over his head. So a couple of singles for Devil's Lake in this ball game. That's the second hit. Back to the top of the order in Max Palmer.
Yeah, so we brought all the equipment back tonight and set it back up, and a few little hiccups, but we're back on track now.
Back on track. wonderful service from yourliveevent.com. Thank all of our sponsors for all that they do to make this happen.
Supporting Legion Baseball and Kindred and
Yes, absolutely.
bringing the teams together.
A lot of baseball last night, a B Legion game. We had Little League night, a couple of rookie level baseball games. We were on the broadcast. Here's a breaking ball in there for a strike to Max Palmer. Here's the set. And the pitch, off speed.
Yeah, and I've been told they have ice cream tonight at concessions, and we're trying out Ice Wind Pizza. So from out of Mapleton. So give it a try if you hit the concession stand, and let us know on our Facebook page what you think of it.
Here's a pitch, swing and a miss.
There is pepperoni or cheese.
Take care of it now. Here we go.
And I'm told it's pretty good so far. The reviews are pretty good. So if you have your opinion, put it on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think.
Throw over to first base. Kraft is back. Max Palmer batting. He's the second baseman. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short his first time up. Here's a 1-2 pitch from McDonald. Fastball is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Max Palmer is the second baseman. Mason Palmer is the shortstop. They're twins. So, yes, they are related.
That's got to be fun for mom and dad.
Here's a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Is blocked nicely by Graham Hess. Misses for a ball. Full count. Kraft will be on the run here. There are 2 outs. Full count. So Kraft will be off on the pitch. Should be anyway. Here's a pitch. There he goes. Swinging a line drive down the right field line. This could be trouble. And it sneaks foul. Of course, our camera's on the first base side up in the press box here, and it's very difficult to get the line drives down the right field line, mainly because of the big wall that is there. So it's very difficult for the camera to be able to get that angle. But it went foul. So the count remains full. Easton Kraft will be off again on the pitch. And the pitch, fastball, fouled off the bat. Kind of a check swing. He didn't mean to swing. Didn't mean to hit it. Was hoping that would be ball 4, but it hit his bat. So the count again remains full. McDonald up to 44 pitches now. And here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. Palmer hit it hard. Third hit, second in a row. 2 in a row now. Brings up Foss and Olson. Kindred Vikings do have brothers playing on this team as well. Of course, Sawyer Hess and Graham Hess. They are not twins.
And little brother Grant played over at Little League last night too. So that family's got a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of foul balls here, so Coach Dean Wixow brought out some foul balls to the umpire. Foss Olsen steps to the plate, grounded out to short his first time up. He's played a good center field. He's covered a lot of ground out there today. First pitch is a ball. And here's a 1-0 set. And the pitch. Fastball grounded up the middle. Trauma's there. He's going to touch second base himself. And that's the third out of the inning. After 2.5, it's 0-0. We head to the bottom of the third inning on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Welcome back, everybody. Back to Kindred Varsity Vikings baseball field. We are playing a Legion A game, Kindred versus Devils Lake this evening.
Vikings will put up to the plate Jeremy Knight, Andy Traum, and Gabe Iverson. 6 up, 6 down for the starting pitcher, Ben Larson. He's had 2 ground outs, 1 to third, 1 to second. The rest of the outs have all been fly balls out to center field. And here's a pitch. Fastball misses away. Jeremy Knight steps to the plate, getting a start. Out in right field, left-handed hitter. Tremendous power. Hit the ball hard and hit it a long ways. 2-0 count. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Good hitters like to kind of draw a box, and if the pitch isn't there, kind of let it go. That one isn't there for Jeremy. He lets it go. 3 balls and no strikes. See if he's got the green light on 3-0. Here's a pitch. Fastball is in there for a strike. I think with the number of pitches that Larson has thrown, I think you got to take a pitch or 2 here and there. He's only up to 21 pitches already. So swing and a miss by Jeremy Knight. Good old hack. Full count. Andy Traum on deck. Number 14, Jeremy Knight. Sees a pitch, swing, and a ground ball pounded out to shortstop. He's got it. Fires over to first base in time. Palmer, one of the Palmer twins, throws over to Sundin, the first baseman. And there's one away. Andy Traum, second baseman, steps to the plate. Had a nice tournament down in Sioux Falls. Had an extra base hit. Ripped a double down the left field line in one of the games. And the pitch. Takes ball 1. Gabe Iverson on deck. No runs, 3 hits for the Storm. 7 up, 7 down for the Vikings. Here's a ground ball pounded out to second. The other Palmer, he's got this one measured. Throws over to Sundin, and there's 2 down.
Brings up number 8, third baseman, Gabe Iverson.
Gabe Iverson steps to the plate. Played in the B Legion games last night. Had a double and a triple. Had a nice night at the plate. Here's a pitch. Swing and a line drive down the left field line, and it continues a hot streak. This might be extra bases. He's going to 2 as it gets by the left fielder, Heilman, and he'll stop there with a stand-up double.
Gabe Iverson doubles down the left field line.
Gabe hit it hard.
To the top of the order with number 1.
A 2-out double.
Brady Baumgarten.
Put somebody immediately into scoring position for the top of the order in Brady Baumgarten.
Kind of woke up their dugout a little bit. Cheers coming from beneath us.
That was a hard hit baseball. Gabe was hustling all the way down the line here, and then that kind of skipped by the left fielder a little bit. No error on the play. That's a stand-up double. Here's a pitch to Baumgarten. Check swing. Did it go? No, he did not. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Brady Baumgarten trying to change the score. Larson trying to make him not change the score. Pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. First base runner for the Vikings. First hit. And here's a 1-1. Swinging a high pop fly, shallow right field. On comes Rainsbury, and he makes kind of a basket catch to end the inning. It was a long run. Kind of a no man's land out there, but Rainsbury tracked it down to end the inning. Vikings do come up with a hit. They leave 1 aboard at the end of 3. We head to the top of the 4th inning. We're tied at 0 on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Vikings Baseball here on yourliveevent.com.
Devils Lake Storm come to bat in the top of the fourth inning. They'll send Mason Palmer, Hunter Remick, and Brady Rainsbury against Jack McDonald. Both pitchers have thrown up zeros in all three innings. First pitch to Palmer's in there for a strike. He singled in the first inning, but was thrown out stealing to end the inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive. Caught by Mr. Trum out there at second base, and he just wanted to make sure. He thought he might have to make a throw, but he caught that in the air.
That one was so fast I couldn't even get the camera turned quick enough. That ball was launched fast.
That ball was hit hard. Line drive to second base. L4, one away. Hunter Remick steps to the plate. He grounded out to shortstop Stanley Belaski. His first time up. Swinging a foul at the screen. You know, speaking of the concession stand, I didn't have supper yet.
Well,
stomach's growling.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. So if you hear some thunder in the background, that's just my stomach growling. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a little ground ball.
Thanks for sharing. I'm sure you'll get fed. Yeah. I bet. But they do have some wonderful things down there we can fetch for you later. Have one of the boys find you something. They have great cheeseburgers, the ice cream, and that new pizza we're trying tonight, the Ice Wind Pizza from over at Mapleton. 100%, what was it? Real cheese. I got all the specifics on it. You can have pepperoni or cheese, crispy thin crust, real meat, real cheese, locally made.
Here's a little foul ball at the plate. 1-2 the count remains. Jack McDonald on the mound.
We should also tell people, too, that Little League night, I took some pictures. If you're watching it on yourliveevent.com, you can hear me clicking in the background, too. I'm going to try and get those pictures up on our Facebook page, too. So be sure and like Kindred Youth Baseball on your Facebook page. There was some cute ones. Those young fellas there was a home run.
Yeah, a couple of home runs.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yep.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Off speed, got him. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. There's two down. 2 strikeouts now for Jack McDonald. Here was the first one. Brody Rainsbury. I think I was saying Brady earlier. It's Brody Rainsbury. He struck out his first time up. Played a nice run. Had a nice running catch to end the third inning for the Vikings. Pitch misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. 3 in a row set down by McDonald. Here's the pitch. Off speed. Chopped at the plate. This might be a fair ball. No, it skips foul.
Graham was ready, though. He was off with the mask and making it happen, just in case.
One ball and 1 strike. Fastball. Outside. 2 balls and a strike.
And it's a very still night. I'll show you that flag out in center field here pretty soon after this batter, but it's not even wiggling.
Fastball is away and down low. 3 balls and a strike. Devils Lake Storm. This is a doubleheader. Both of these are counter games, so we'll have both of these games for you on your live event. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Brody Rainsbury didn't think so. Count is full. And the pitch, off speed, high fly ball. Into left field, medium deep. Carson Getty camps underneath it. The left-hander makes a catch out in left field. And 3 up, 3 down for the Devils Lake Storm in the top of the 4th inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 0-0. Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Lands.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Vikings Baseball on yourliveevent.com.
Kindred Vikings will send up Sawyer Hess, Carson Getty, and Stanley Belaski in the bottom of the 4th inning. Against starting pitcher Ben Larson. Ben Larson's thrown a good game so far. Has only allowed the 1 hit through 3 innings. First pitch to Sawyer Hess is a ball. Hess flew out to center field in the 1st inning. And here's the pitch. Fastball laced into center field, and guess who's out there?
You gonna make me guess?
Foston Olson is out there. He's tracked down a lot of baseballs tonight. Another hard hit ball to straightaway center field, and Foston Olson's tracked everything down out there tonight. 1 down. Carson Getty comes to the plate. He grounded out to second base his first time up. Takes a fastball in there for a strike. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside.
Come on,
33 pitches thrown. This is number 34 for Larson. Fastball, swinging a ground ball out towards the shortstop. One of the Palmers has it, throws across the diamond in time for the out. Sundin, the first baseman, looked like he might have come off first base a little bit early, but called out.
He did a good stretch there to get it, though.
It's Mason Palmer out there at shortstop. Max Palmer's the second baseman. 2 down. Stanley Belaski is a batter. He flew out to center field, as everybody did in the 2nd inning. For the Vikings. Takes ball 1. Here's a pitch. High fly ball. Shallow right field. Rainsbury comes on and makes the catch. And the Vikings go down. 1-2-3. We've got ourselves a pitcher's duel here in Kindred at the end of 4. It's 0-0 on yourliveevent.com.
Services including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Devils Lake Storm coming to bat in the top of the 5th inning. We're all tied at zeros. Jack McDonald for the Vikings will take the mound. Got himself a pitcher's duel against Ben Larson, starting pitcher for the Storm. Jack McDonald will face the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Storm. Trayson Beck, the catcher, will lead off. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. That ended the 2nd inning. 3 hits for the Storm, 1 for the Vikings. No runs for either team, no errors for either team. Here's a pitch from McDonald. Fastball is in there for a strike. Trayson Beck, right-handed hitter. Will Heilman on deck, and we'll see Landon Sundin, the first baseman, as well. Here's a pitch, fastball, misses outside, 1 ball and a strike. Wind's picking up a little bit, kind of blowing in from left center field. Here's a pitch, fastball, little ground ball out in front of the pitcher. McDonald picks it up, tosses over to first base in time for the out.
Comebackers in mound for out number 1, brings up number 3, left field.
1 away. 5 in a row set down by Jack McDonald. Will Heilman steps to the plate. He flew out to center fielder Brady Baumgarten to lead off the 3rd inning. Here's a pitch, fastball in there. No balls and a strike. Here's the set, here's the pitch from McDonald. Fastball fouled away, it's out of play. No balls and 2 strikes.
Once again, help us with those foul balls. Stay over the concession stand.
McDonald looks on, trying to work himself out of this inning. Off to a good start. He's got 1 down, 2 strikes on the hitters. Swinging a line drive, shallow left field, and it's going to fall in front of Carson Getty in left field. So a solid base hit for Heilman. 4 hits now for the Storm. That'll bring up Landon Sundin, the first baseman. He flew out to left fielder Carson Getty. That was in the 3rd. Easton Kraft steps out on deck. Max Bernier holding on the runner over at first base. McDonald looks on, kicks and fires. Fastball pounded out towards short. This could be 2. Belaski to Trom to Bernier, and he makes a stretch and completes the double play. A 6-4-3 double play. 6-4-3 added up equals 2. And he works out of the inning at the end of 4.5. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're still tied at 0 on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
And we're back. Kindred Vikings set up Graham Hess, who quickly swings at the first pitch, bounces one into right field, and it's a base hit. First pitch swinging for Graham Hess, leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Vikings, and he's got himself a single. See if they run for the catcher. Max Bernier will be the batter. He's a first baseman. Lined out hard to center field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And we got a pinch runner, a courtesy runner for the catcher. You can do that for the pitcher and the catcher. Dylan Stone, number 9, comes on to courtesy run for the catcher. Max steps up. Might be a bunting situation here. Throw over to first base is not in time. Dylan Stone is back safely. 2 hits now for the Vikings. And another throw over to first base. Stone is back safely. Looks at his fingers a little bit. Might have jammed up his fingers. Here's the set. And the pitch from Palmer. Swing and a foul back out of play. Strike 1. Max had a pretty good cut at that one. Nice 6-4-3 double play to end that top of the 5th inning. See if the Vikings can capitalize on the momentum. Bernier takes ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Larson, starting pitcher for the Storm. Throwing a great game so far. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Larson hasn't walked anyone. Hasn't struck out anyone either. Allowed just the 2 hits. Here's the 1-2. He throws over to first base once again. Stone is back safely. Coach Josh O'Maris coaching over at third. Nick Eggman coaching at first base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, swing and a pop fly, foul. And it's going to reach out of play. 41 pitches thrown now by Larson. A very good pitch count. Larson moves a little bit slower when he's got a runner on base. Hasn't had to deal with it too much. Here's a 1-2. Fastball is up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larson works his way to the mound. Looks back at the runner. Kicks and fires. Looks like he held the swing to me, and the umpires agree. Full count. I don't know if Stone will be off on the pitch here. Throw over to first base, and it's into Stone's rib cage, I think. So Stone's getting a little beat up over there, over at first base. Just on to courtesy run, and he's had a ball hit him. He's bent his finger back a little awkwardly on first base. 3-2 the count. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a ground ball over towards third. This could be 2. Down to second to 1. Throw over to first base is in time for the 5-4-3 double play. So the Storm turned their own double play. And 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jeremy Knight. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Jeremy Knight at the plate. Takes a fastball outside, ball 1. Andy Trom is on deck. Should Jeremy Knight get on base? Here's a 1-0, swing and a miss. 1 ball and a strike. And here's a 1-1. Fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Very quick game so far. Moving along. Both pitchers throwing strikes. Here's a 1-2. Fastball swinging a ground ball out towards second. Palmer has it. Throws on to first base in time. And Sundin is there to make the catch, and it's a 4-3 putout. Vikings only send 3 men to the plate with that double play, and at the end of 5, we head to the top of the 6th inning. We're tied at 0 on yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown Local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
We head to the top of the sixth inning. We're still tied at 0 at Kindred Varsity Field. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Storm. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Vikings. For the Devils Lake Storm, they'll send up the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. It'll be Easton Kraft leading it off, the third baseman. He singled his first time up. That was a 2-out single back in the third. First pitch to him misses for a ball. Jack McDonald throwing a nice ball game. 5 innings of work. He's allowed just the 4 hits. Hasn't walked anyone, struck out a couple. Here's a 1-0 pitch from McDonald. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Kraft seemed fooled on that one. Kind of went after one in the dirt. So 1 ball and a strike. Easton Kraft, right-handed hitter, wears number 24. And here's a set and the pitch by McDonald. Breaking ball in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 6th inning. And here's the 1-2. You get the feeling that if somebody puts up a run and 1 run, they might very well win this ball game. Here's the set. Here's the 1-2 and the pitch. Breaking ball. Grounded over towards third and through the wickets for Gabe Iverson, an error. First error of the ball game for either team. So Kraft is aboard for the second time.
Kraft reaches on the air and brings up leadoff batter number 1, second baseman Max.
So leadoff man is aboard. We go to the top of the order with Max Palmer. Max is 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single. Leadoff hitter. Let's see if they lay down a bunt. And he does so, and it's a good one. McDonald's going to have to field it. Throws on to first base, and they get the out. So it's a sacrifice bunt. 1-3 is the put out for the first out. Kraft moves up to second base. Now, if Kraft scores, it is an unearned run, but that's no consolation for Jack McDonald. He wants to strand him out there. 1 down, runner on second base. Foston Olson, the batter. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out, and he's grounded out twice. Once to short, once to second. Here's McDonald, Trom, and Belaski towing with the runner out there. First pitch to Olson is outside. Olson, like we mentioned before, has covered a lot of ground out in center field, done a nice job.
Yeah, he's the one you had me guessing. And it's always him. That's my guess.
He's tracking down everything out there. Here's the pitch, fastball down low, 2 balls and no strikes.
Devils Lake is the place that all Legion A is trying to make it in the East Division. That is, they are hosting the East Regional Tournament.
Here's a pitch in there for a strike.
In late July, that is where the East Regional Tournament will be held. And they're all going to try to get to the state Class A tournament Castleton is hosting.
Here's a pitch. It's up high. 3 balls and 1 strike. 77 pitches thrown by McDonald so far. Top of the 6th inning. We're scoreless. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball, swinging a ground ball over towards second base. Traum has it, drops it momentarily, and the runner's going to reach on another error by the Vikings. So E4, Olson is aboard. So as far as scoring is concerned, there cannot be an earned run allowed this inning because that should have been the third out. Coach Almaris is going to go talk to his pitcher, kind of calm him down a little bit, maybe talk to his infield a little bit, and we'll keep it right here. So it's the Storm with no runs, 4 hits, and no errors, and the Vikings with no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors.
All right, so while we got a moment here, I'm going to ask you, how many things are turning 100 years old in 2025? Can you think of anything?
No.
I got a list here. But the important reason, so the New Yorker, the Great Gatsby, and Legion Baseball.
American Legion Baseball,
yes,
100 years old.
Yeah, they're celebrating their centennial this year. And so the state tournament will be held in Castleton July 31st through August 4th. So that's where all these teams will meet up again, assuming they make it that far. And it'll be a good time to celebrate 100 years of Legion Baseball. So, little fun fact for the evening.
That's outstanding.
100 years old. You don't know. I'm going to look up some more fun stuff about what's 100 years old.
Yeah.
The New Yorker, the Great Gatsby.
American Legion Baseball, 100 years old.
Dum-Dums. Remember those suckers?
I do.
Yeah, those are still around, I think, right? Yeah, little kids get those. They come in a big bag. They are 100 years old as well.
I just noticed Art Haugen, the home plate umpire, was trying to kind of hurry things along. So the meeting of the minds is broken up. That'll bring up Mason Palmer. He's singled and lined out to second base, so he's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Trying to take the lead, swings and fouls one off. Strike one. Hunter Remick is on deck. Runners on first and third. Let's see what kind of shenanigans Devils like plays here. Here's a breaking ball, bunted, and it's a good one. That's going to score a run. McDonald has to fire to first base, and they get the out. So it's a sacrifice again on the suicide squeeze, and it pays off as Kraft comes across to score. That's a 1-3 putout. It's a sacrifice bunt for Mason Palmer, so he's not charged with an at-bat. He gets credit for a run batted in. Boston Olson does move up to second base, and there's 2 outs. And here's the set and the pitch, swing and a foul tip at the plate. So the run is unearned, but again, no consolation for Jack McDonald. You wanted to strand the runners out there. No balls and a strike. Now, just simply trying to minimize the damage. Here's the set and the pitch, swing and a foul. Strike 2. Remick grounded out and struck out. Brody Rainsbury is on deck. Here's the set. And the pitch. Off speed, swinging a foul over the press box. 0-2 the count. So the Storm strike first. Get that first run across. This will be pitch number 84 for McDonald. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Here you go now. Come on now.
Each team has turned a double play in this ballgame. Here's a 1-2, swinging a line drive into left field, but it's going to hang up for Carson Getty out in left field, so it's a fly 7. For the third out, the Storm strike first. They get a run across. 1 run, no hits, and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5 1/2, we head to the bottom of the 6th inning on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
And we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Kindred Vikings trying to get this game tied or even perhaps take a lead. And they'll send to the order Andy Traum, Gabe Iverson, and Brady Baumgarten, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Wendy, you're kind of listening in to what Coach Almaris had to say on the first base side after that inning.
You know, I'm not eavesdropping. I could hear him where I'm sitting, and he was just, telling them to get the bats going and stay in it and get excited and just get into the game and get the bats moving. So yeah, he's just firing up his team, but I can hear him all the way up here.
What I really like about Coach Almaris is everything's positive. Team just gave up, a couple errors out there, and we gave up an unearned run. There's no mention of that. There was no mention of, hey, we kicked the ball around. There was no mention of anything like that.
We heard.
Yeah, and he was just trying to fire up his team and just saying, hey, keep it positive. We got out of that inning with only allowing one run. We needed to score a run anyway, so let's go do it.
Yeah, well, let's see if Andy can do it.
Andy Traum steps to the plate. He grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive towards the second baseman. Palmer kicks it a little bit, but he recovers in time and fires over to first base. So 2 ground outs to second base for Traum on the day. And there's 1 away. Max Palmer, the second baseman. It's important to know at second base you can just knock the ball down and you're still going to have time to make that short throw over to first base. Here's a ground ball over to third. Kraft has it, fires over to Sundin for the second out. Gabe Iverson had the first hit for the Vikings. He ripped a double down the left field line. Now he grounds out to third, and there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order, Brady Baumgarten steps up. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to third and flew out to right. Trying to get something going with 2 outs. What a job by both pitchers. Ben Larson is throwing a heck of a ball game here. Just giving up the 2 hits. Hasn't walked anyone, hasn't struck out anybody. He's just making them hit the ball and working quickly. This one's fired over for a strike. He's only thrown 54 pitches. And we're into the bottom of the 6th inning. And the pitch, off speed, is in the dirt. If I'm doing my math correctly, he's averaging less than 10 pitches an inning. Which is incredible. Here's a 2-1 pitch, fastball, swing and a foul, chop at the plate. That one caught Brady at the back foot, I believe. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Jack McDonald's thrown a heck of a ball game as well. He's gone 6 innings, allowed only the 4 hits and one unearned run. Count rolls along at 3-2. Sawyer Hess, the designated hitters on desk, swing and a miss, and Baumgarten goes down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. So at the end of 6, it's a 1-0 lead for Devils Lake. And we'll be back on YourLiveEvent.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
And we're back. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Devils Lake Storm coming to bat. They'll send up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Brady Rainsbury, the right fielder, followed by Trayson Beck and Will Heilman. Jack McDonald answers the bell here for the top of the 7th inning. Trying to throw himself a complete game. Brady Rainsbury's the batter. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and flew out. Line drive down the left field line. That's a fair ball. 5th hit for Devils Lake. He's going for 2. Here's a throw down to second base. Not quite in time. He slid under the tag. So a leadoff double for Rainsbury. Brings up Trayson Beck, the catcher. Beck is 0 for 2. He flew out to right and grounded out to the pitcher. The corners are playing in a little bit. Max Bernier playing in at first base. Gabe Iverson playing in at third. Middle infield back. Here's the set and the pitch. It's a bunt, and it's not a bad bunt, and it trickles foul. Man, if that stays fair, that's a base hit. Strike 1 to Trayson Beck. Devils Lake has the 1-run lead. And they're trying to stretch that lead by laying down a sacrifice bunt. They got that leadoff double, so they don't have to sacrifice anybody over to second base. They're trying to get him over to third.
Yeah, everybody's making sure Gabe knows.
And he tries to lay down a bunt. This pitch is in there for a strike. Throw down to second base is not in time. The runner, Rainsbury, was dancing off a little bit. Two strikes the count to the batter, Trayson Beck. Let's see if he still tries to lay down a bunt. Nope, he's not bunting. Line drive, hard hit at Stanley Belaski. It's off his glove and into center field, and that's going to score a run. Throw down to the plate is not in time, and the runner will not move up. So it's E6. Rainsbury comes across the score. No RBI on the play. Rainsbury scores to make it 2-0. In favor of the Storm. Third error of the ball game. Trayson Beck is the catcher, so we will see a courtesy runner here. That's number 4. Tayden Tripke will be the courtesy runner. So nobody out, a leadoff double, and then a ground ball error on the shortstop, and that scores a run. So Will Heilman steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He flew out and singled. Takes a fastball in, ball 1. Throw over to first base is not in time. Up the line a little bit. .90 pitches now for McDonald. Here's 91. Fastball is outside, and it gets away from Graham Hess. And the runner will move up to second base. I believe that'll be scored a wild pitch. Pass ball is the call. And that's significant because could factor into the earned run thing and that type of thing. So it's a pass ball on the catcher. Nobody out, runner on second, and he's going to lay down a bunt, and it's a good one. Hess fields it, throws on to first base. Second baseman Andy Traum there to cover. So it's a 2-4 put out, sacrifice bunt, and that's the first out. And the runner, Tripke, moves over to third base. Remember, he's the courtesy runner for the catcher. That brings up Landon Sundin, the first baseman. Sundin is 0 for 2, and we're going to have a visit to the mound.
mood just kind of changed slightly, and Coach Almaris is headed out to talk to the boys.
Yeah, it's one of those games. It's a well-played game, and then a couple of errors, and we talk about this a lot. Baseball is a game of momentum, and you try to capitalize on that momentum, and it seems like when hitting is contagious and everybody's hitting, everybody starts to hit. When everybody starts to make an error, then it kind of goes downhill, and it's just one of those things where you just got to find somebody to step up and switch that momentum rather quickly in your favor.
Yeah, Coach is just going to hit the reset button maybe.
Yep, going out there to talk to his infield, say, hey, we got to focus. We can't let this guy score. We're down by 2. Let's not make it 3. Let's not make it 4.
Well, that's the idea, I suppose.
Yeah, you can't change what happened, but you can change what's going forward and trying to switch the momentum to your favor. So Devils Lake Storm up by a score of 2-0. It's 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Storm. Vikings, no runs, 2 hits, and 3 errors. And they've been costly. Landon Sundin will be the batter. He's flown out and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Nice turn of a double play back in the 5th inning to end the 5th for the Storm. Meeting is over out on the mound. Jack McDonald still on the mound. He's still got some pitches left. I believe the limit is 105. He's got 92 pitches so far. So head coach for the Vikings would like to see his pitcher finish this inning. And here's the set and the pitch. Little breaking ball away. Landon Sundin, the batter, slick fielding first baseman. Right-handed hitter. And the pitch, fastball, is over for a strike. Actually, this isn't Landon Sundin. This is Ben Brodina. I must have missed that. So Ben Brodina is pinch hitting. And here's a pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. Ben Brodina was not in the starting lineup. He's pinch hitting. He wears number 23. 1-2 the count. McDonald trying to strand the runner at third. Here's a ground ball pounded out towards short. Infield goes in. Throw over to first base is in time for the out. Infield goes in. Stanley Belaski makes the play. It's a 6-3 put out for the second out. And that'll bring up Easton Kraft, the third baseman. Kraft scored the first run of the game when he reached on an error in the 6th inning. He came around to score. In the 3rd inning, he singled, so he's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Here's the first pitch to him from McDonald's. It is over for a strike. Here's the 0-1 set. And here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. 98 pitches now for Jack McDonald. 0-2 the count. McDonald trying to minimize the damage, work through this. And here's the pitch. Fastball. Might have been a slider, I guess. Fouled off. 0-2. Top of the order, and Max Palmer is on deck. And here's the 0-2 delivery. Fastball misses. Press box wanted that one. We got a lot of oohs up here. So 1-2 the count. And here's the pitch. Fastball is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Right here, 6. Come in.
Donald throwing out of the stretch. Looks over at third base. Kind of checks a runner there. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a foul tip. Barely got a piece. But Easton Kraft got enough of it to stay alive. Here's the set from McDonald. Kicks and fires, off speed, hit a high fly ball, shallow left field. On comes Carson Getty. Nice running catch out there, and that's the half inning. Devils Lake does come up with a run. It is unearned. There was a hit. And one runner left on base. At the end of 6 1/2, we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Devils Lake Storm with 2 and the Vikings with 0. Last hopes coming up in the bottom of the 7th on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Baseball. Kindred's taking on Devils Lake tonight.
We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Devils Lake Storm on top, 2-0. Vikings will send up their 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Meet of the order. Sawyer Hess takes strike 1. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out to center field twice. Hit the ball hard a couple of times. Nothing to show for it. Here's a pitch from Larson. Misses for a ball. Ben Larson, the starting pitcher, what a game he's thrown. He's thrown only 60 pitches. And here's a pitch. It's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carson Getty on deck. Vikings need some base runners. Swing and a little pop up towards the shortstop. Palmer comes on and fields it. Makes a catch. And there's one away. 6 in a row set down by Larson. Up steps Carson Geddes, grounded out to second, grounded out to short. Trying to get on base any way he can. Takes a strike. Stanley Belaski on deck. Graham Hess would follow should somebody reach here. Swing and a little chopper up the first base line. It's foul. Coach Nick Eggman fields it, guns it back to the pitcher. No balls and 2 strikes to number 27, left-handed hitting Carson Getty. And here's the 0-2, swing and a foul tip at the plate. Getty got just enough of it so the catcher Beck could not quite squeeze it. So he stays alive with a count 0-2. Here's the set, here's the pitch, swing and another foul. Into the evergreens, back behind the grandstand. What a game this has been. 2-0 score, bottom of the 7th, 1 out. Here's a pitch. Check swing. He might have gone. Yes, he did. Throw down to first base is in time. And it's a strikeout for Getty, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, this game has been a fast one, but with each inning it gets a little more intense. I feel a little more intensity, a little bit more serious with each little bat as we creep along every half inning.
Stanley Belaski comes up with 2 outs, nobody on. He needs to reach base to keep this game going. He'll take ball 1. He's 0 for 2. He flew out to center field, and he also flew out to right field. Trying to get himself on base. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swing and a high pop fly. This might do it. Left fielder Heilman comes on in foul territory, and he makes the catch down the left field line in foul territory to end the ball game. And the Vikings drop this one to Devils Lake by a score of 2-0. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back for the Todd Wold CPA postgame show.
Yep, and within that post-game show, we'll have the player of the game from Enbridge and the connection of the match, courtesy of HTC.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Vikings Baseball. We are here with the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. Game 1 of 2 just wrapped up. And for Todd Wold CPA, for accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com.
Well, it was a pitcher's duel, and Devils Lake Storm, they come up with a victory. And a couple of very strong starting performances on the mound. We'll start with Jack McDonald for the Vikings. He does take the loss, but the man went out 7 innings and gave up only the 5 hits, 2 runs, both were unearned, didn't walk anybody, didn't hit anybody, struck out 2 batters, and he takes the hard luck loss for the game. And the winning pitcher for Devils Lake, Ben Larson, what a game he threw. 7 innings, allowed just the 2 hits, no runs allowed, didn't walk anyone, didn't hit anyone, struck out 2 batters, and he picks up the win for the Devils Lake Storm. So the Devils Lake Storm win this one. We will have another game following this one here, and let's talk about the Enbridge Player of the Game.
Enbridge, life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities.
Well, we have to go with the starting pitcher for Devils Lake. I ran through his line here, but we'll do it again because it's worth noting. Ben Larson, the starting pitcher for the Devils Lake Storm, he picks up the victory. 7 shutout innings, 2 hits allowed, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and the man only threw 69 pitches in a 7-inning game, averaging less than 10 pitches an inning. That's an incredible pitch count, and he picks up the win to earn the player of the game.
And then our connection of the match, brought to you by HTC. Discover local reliability you can trust. Halstead Telephone, it's how to connect. HalsteadTel.com.
I tell you what we're going to do is we're going to go with the shortstop, Mason Palmer. He was 1 for 2 on the ball game officially. He had a single. He was thrown out stealing. He lined out to second base, hit the ball hard. But the connection of the game came in the top of the 6th inning. They had a runner on at third base, and the suicide squeeze was called. And sure enough, Easton Kraft took off from third base. Palmer was able to get that bunt down, and that's your connection of the game. They take the lead, scoring that first run in the top of the 6th inning. So Mason Palmer is our HTC connection of the game.
That's great. And we do have another ball game coming up, so there's still time to get out here to the ballpark, hit the concession stand. They've got ice cream tonight they wanted us to mention. Make sure you get some of that, and try out the pizza from Icewind tonight. We're trying that out, and let us know how that goes.
Absolutely. What a fun ball game, and like Wendy said, we'll be back for the second game. And in the meantime, we'll take a break, and we'll be back for the second game.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and RJBroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and RJBroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Ulstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And we're back. This is game number 2. Devils Lake Storm again in town. 2 counters. Devils Lake Storm won the first one over the Kindred Vikings, post 117. Here are your starting lineups. Again, I'm Mike Bernier, along with Wendy Bernier, bringing you American Legion Baseball.
Good evening.
And the 100th anniversary of American Legion Baseball.
Yeah, we're going to keep on the hunt for more things that are 100 years old in 2025, and Legion Baseball is at the top of the list, which is fitting because we are wearing, Kindred is wearing their red, white, and blue tonight.
Here's your starting lineups. First for the Devils Lake Storm. Very similar lineup, but not quite the same. Max Palmer will lead it off. He's the second baseman. Batting second will be the center fielder, Faustin Olson. Batting third and playing at shortstop will be Mason Palmer. Easton Kraft will be the cleanup hitter. Playing third base, Trayson Beck will play first base and bat fifth. Ben Larson bats sixth. He's a designated hitter. And then Ben Bonita, the catcher, bats eighth, and then Tayden Tripke bats ninth, and he's playing in right field. Actually, somewhere I missed a batter, so I probably wrote it down wrong. On the mound for the Kindred Vikings is Kelby Erdman. He gets a start.
Yep, he was warming up a little bit ago when Coach Elmaris asked, "Are you ready?" And he gave him the thumbs up. So we'll see how things go for Kelbs tonight.
It's a 2-1, now 3-1 count to Max Palmer, the leadoff hitter, second baseman. Here's the 3-1 set and the delivery from Erdman. Fastball hit high in the air to center field. Brady Baumgarten is there. He camps under it, makes a catch. And it's a fly out to center field for out number 1. Faustin Olson steps to the plate. He's the center fielder. Where's number 5? Had a good game in center field in game 1. So Kelby Erdman on the mound, throwing to the other Hess brother. Sawyer Hess gets the catching duties in this game. First pitch to Olson is across for strike 1. And here's the set and the delivery from Erdman. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Just getting going in game 2. Here's a pitch. Fastball is up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mason Palmer is on deck. And here's the set and the pitch from Erdman. This one is up. I believe the count is 2-2, but I'm not 100% sure. Here's the pitch, swinging a high pop fly over the first base side dugout and press box. It's out of play. I believe the count is 2-2. Erdman throwing out of the full windup, kicks and fires. Fastball is up. Ball seems to be coming out of Erdman's hand very well tonight. Little extra zip on the baseball. Here's the 3-2. This one is up, and he walked him. That'll bring up Mason Palmer. Well, that's what I did. I missed Will Heilman. So now my scorebook's all screwed up.
Well, good thing you didn't commit in the ink and you got a pencil.
Yep.
And lots of erasers we bring for you.
So Will Heilman will be the batter. I don't know how I missed him. He's a left fielder.
5's headed down to second.
Wild pitch from Erdman, and Olson moves down to second. Pitch was a ball. Will Heilman, the batter. There's a high pop fly. Not so high pop fly. Back to the pitcher. And Erdman makes a catch.
Well,
and there's 2 away.
High in the air, and it's not very far. Went vertically.
Here's a pitch. Now Mason Palmer steps to the plate. He's a shortstop. Got to fix my scorebook here because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing.
Oh, good. It's a very relaxed evening here at the ballpark. A little bit of a breeze this game. The flag's moving out there in center field just slightly.
Here's a pitch. It's inside.
Deep breath here. Strike one, the fly ball. Let's go.
And here's a pitch. It's way upstairs. He walked him. The runner will go down to third base on the wild pitch. So Olson gets down to third. Palmer's aboard on the walk. Second walk of the inning for Erdman. And that should bring up number 24, Easton Kraft, the third baseman.
That brings up number 24, third baseman, Easton Kraft.
And Sawyer called timeout, and he's catcher giving some signals out to his teammates.
This is always tricky with runners on first and third. For the defense, do you throw through if the runner takes off? Do you have it cut off by the pitcher? Do you have it cut off by the second baseman?
Well, if Kelby throws a strike, then don't have to worry about it as much.
Good hop, Sawyer. Get us out of here now. Come on now. Good pitch.
Pitch is over for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. All right, I think I fixed my scorebook. Here's a 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball. Throw down to second base. It's cut off by the shortstop. High throw back to the plate. And the runner will move down to third base. A run does come across the score. So Olson scores on the throw down to second base. Give Palmer a stolen base, and he'll move down to third base, I think, just on the throw. There might be an error because the throw was high into the backstop, and so that got the runner down to third base. So in my scorebook, I'm putting E6. I'm not sure if that's the official scoring. But Belaski's throw to home was way high, and that allowed the runner to move down to third base. Here's a foul ball at the plate. So Foston Olson comes across a score. Mason Palmer is on at third base. The batter is Easton Kraft. He's still at the plate. And the pitch, off speed, looped into right field. And Jack McDonald's there. He makes a catch. And Devils Lake strikes first. Once again, they have a 1-0 lead. They score 1 run, pick up no hits. There was an error, and 1 runner left on base. At the end of a half an inning, we head to the bottom of the first inning. Vikings coming to bat. It's 1-0 on yourliveevent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Head to the bottom of the first inning. Kindred Vikings. Their lineup looks like this. Brady Baumgarten leads off in center field. Carson Getty bats second. He's in left field. Sawyer Hess batting third. He's catching. Graham Hess bats in the cleanup hole. He's playing first base. Stanley Belaski bats fifth, playing at shortstop. Gabe Iverson, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Batting seventh is Dylan Stone, playing over at third base. Andy Traum bats eighth, playing over at second, and Jack McDonald getting the start in right field, bats ninth. Brody Rainsbury on the mound. Throws out of the stretch. Where's number 15? Fastball ripped into right field on the first pitch. And it's a leadoff single for Brady Baumgarten. One pitch, one hit. Early goings of game number 2 of this doubleheader. Both games are counters. Devils Lake scored their run after a walk. And then scored when Mason Palmer stole second base. It was cut off by the shortstop. They tried to get the runner at the plate. Throw was high, but that run will be earned. Mason Palmer did get down to third base on the air. Carson Getty bats. He's got a 1-0 count. Ground ball towards the second baseman from one Palmer to the other. On to first base in time for a 4-6-3 double play.
First base Palmer really had to stretch for that one, but he did it.
And just like that, there's quickly 2 outs. A leadoff single for Brady Baumgarten. Carson Getty bounces into the 4-6-3 double play. It's Max Palmer to Mason Palmer, so it was a 4-6-3 double play. And that brings up Sawyer Hess. First pitch to him is a ball. Brody Rainsbury on the mound. Got a new catcher in the game. It's, man, got to learn to write.
23, number 23 is the catcher.
Yeah, it's Ben Bodina is the catcher. And here's the set. The pitch, fastball, is in there for a strike. Sawyer Hess batting. He's catching this ball game, swings and fouls it back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sawyer had a good time down at Dakota Classic this past weekend. On one of the games, he did a true cycle. First time at bat, single, second, triple, and then he got that home run in order and for a true cycle, and it was quite a moment. Quite a moment. You were there. You witnessed it.
Yep. Single, double, triple, home run. That home run was a big one. It tied the game at 11 at the time to complete that cycle. Big home run. And here's a pitch. He draws a walk.
Yeah, a lot of proud fans and in the stands down there in Renner, South Dakota. It was a fun moment for him. And then the gentleman keeping the official score shared the score sheet with me and passed that along to Sawyer's mom. Something to frame.
And here's a pitch from Rainsbury. Hard hit down the first base. And quick reactions over there by the first baseman, Trayson Beck, and he makes the catch. It's a line out to the first baseman for Graham Hess, and that ends the inning. Vikings come up with no runs. They do have a hit.
Yeah,
one runner left aboard.
That one was quicker than my reaction to get down there, but we'll take a break and be right back here on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Vikings baseball. They are facing Devils Lake in game. This is game 2 of 2. They lost the first one to Devils Lake 0-2. And following this game, we will have the Todd Wold CPA postgame show, which will include the player of the game from Enbridge and the connection of the match from HTC. Right now, Kelby Erdman on the mound, and we're getting back into it.
Devils Lake Storm will send Trayson Beck, Ben Larson, and Ben Bodina to the plate. Trace it back now playing at first base. He started the first game at catcher and did a fine job back behind the plate.
And looky here. I just had a delivery to the press box, our new Ice Wind Pizza for us to try up here.
That pitch is in there. Oh, man, it smells good.
Right?
Pitch is in there for a strike, by the way.
There's still time to get out here and get some of that new Ice Wind Pizza and let us know what you think about it.
Here's a 2-1. It's a fastball up. 3 balls and a strike. Kelby Erdman on the mound for the Vikings. Here's a 3-1 delivery. Kicks and fires. He walked him. And Beck draws a leadoff walk, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Ben Larson.
Brings up number 7, designated hitter, Ben Larson.
What a game Ben Larson threw. He was our Enbridge player of the game in that first game through a 7-inning shutout. Allowed only a couple of hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out a couple of batters, only threw 69 pitches. Runner goes. Batter shows bunt, and he's going to steal second base. Does Beck without a throw.
I'm going to turn down your mic and mine up. My mom's saying that I am quieter than you. Imagine that. You're louder than me. I can't imagine.
Here's Erdman throwing out of the stretch. It's a high fastball. It goes to the screen. That'll be a wild pitch for Erdman, and Beck will move down to third base. So nobody out, runner on third base. Vikings down by a run. Early goings of this one. It's the top of the second inning. Erdman wears 15. Here's a pitch. Fastball down low. Sawyer Hess can't handle it, but he does block it. So it's a 3-0 count to Ben Larson, the designated hitter. Ben Larson did not bat in the first game. He was designated hit for as he was pitching. Here's a fastball up, and he draws a walk. Runners on first and third, and again we have that situation with runners on first and third, and the runner could take off, and Vikings tried a number of different plays throughout the season and to try to stop this from the runner from first taking off and trying to score that runner from third. Sawyer Hess will go through a series of signs for his defense. Erdman has thrown 31 pitches. Ben Brodina, the batter. He's the catcher in today's ball game. He's going to show bunt. He's going to take a fastball down low, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, we're so thankful to have your live event and be able to bring these games to you for the folks that live far away or relatives. I know a lot of grandmas, aunts, uncles watching. This is a great opportunity for them to tune in and watch some great baseball and watch some players that they are big fans of. So we're thankful for your live event, letting us do this tonight, and all the fans and all the supporters that make it possible.
And the 2-0 pitch is in the dirt and gets past Sawyer Hess, and that's going to score a run. The run's going to score on a wild pitch. Larson moves down to second base. Trayson Beck comes across a score to make it 2-0. Erdman throwing out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball over. Strike one. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 runs on no hits for Devils Lake. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball up. He walked him. Runners on first and second. Nobody out.
And here comes Coach Elmaris out from the dugout.
Coach Elmaris going out to talk to his pitcher, give him some time to kind of settle down a little bit. 3 walks to start this second inning. That's the 5th walk overall. Taden Tripke will be the batter. He's a right fielder. So we're talking about all the baseball we're having on yourliveevent.com. We do have a doubleheader tomorrow for Babe Ruth, and then we got another doubleheader versus Park River on Saturday to cover. A lot of baseball going on, so the Babe Ruth team in Kindred will be playing Friday night as well. So a couple doubleheaders 3 days in a row, and so they'll be playing a lot of baseball. A-Legion playing tonight, so a lot of good coverage on yourliveevent.com, and like Wendy mentioned earlier, great service, and we thank all of our sponsors for what they do for us in the community and supporting Legion Baseball on the 100th year anniversary of American Legion Baseball. Wendy looked it up. Did you find any more fun things that are 100 years old?
I did not. Well, I mean, just what I found earlier, the Dum Dum Suckers, the New Yorker. And Legion Baseball, yes, celebrating its centennial, and they will really pull the party off with the Class A state tournament being hosted over in Castleton at the end of July, July 31st through August 4th. Castleton will host that Class A state tournament, and that'll be a good time. I know there's a lot of planning already started and in the works for that.
Taden Tripke is the batter. He gets his first plate appearance of the evening. He did courtesy run in the first game, so getting his first plate appearance. Has a ball and a strike on him. Here's a pitch from Erdman. Off speed is bunted up the third base line. It's a pretty good bunt. Charging is Dylan Stone, and he throws wide at first base, but Graham Hess does a nice job of keeping his foot on the bag. It'll be a sacrifice bunt. It'll be a 5-3 put out. One down. Ben Larson moves up to third. Ben Brodina moves up to second base. So runners on second and third with just the one out. Max Palmer steps up. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. Takes the first pitch inside and high, I believe. Ball one. Foston Olson is on deck. Here's a pitch from Erdman. Fastball in there for a strike. 2 runs, no hits, no errors for Devils Lake. Kindred, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Here's a 1-1, swing and a foul back to the screen. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Nice backstop or backhand play by the catcher Sawyer Hess. He stopped that one from going to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, fastball, pop-up, foul, out of play on the first base side.
If anybody wants to find out more about that 100th anniversary or what's going on in the East region, this Class A region, they can follow along. Find North Dakota American Legion Baseball on X.
Fastball is by the pitcher Sawyer Hess, and a run's going to score on the wild pitch. Ben Larson comes across the score to make it 3-0 in favor of Devils Lake. Bodina heads down to third base. Count is 3-2 to Max Palmer. And here's a pitch. Fastball is up. And he walked him. That'll bring up Foston Olson. Olson walked his first time up, came across to score the first run of the ball game. So again, runners on first and third. So Sawyer Hess will again go through a series of signs.
And then, too, during this little break, if you'd like to follow along with your Kindred Vikings on X, you can search Kindred Legion BB, 2 capital B's there, at Kindred_post 117.
Pitches a strike, throw down to second base, is cut off by Andy Trom, so the runner does take off. Max Palmer steals second base. Pitch was a strike, 0-1 the count to Foston Olson, the center fielder. And the pitch, off speed, check swing, it's in there for a strike anyway. No balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitter, Foston Olson. Will Heilmer, I should say, is on deck. Pitch is up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kelby Erdman on the mound for the Vikings. Recent graduate of Kindred High School. Fastball in there, strike 3. And Olson goes down on strikes. Out number 2 of the inning.
Just as I connect everybody to the social media they need to be connected to, don't forget also Kindred Youth Baseball on Facebook.
Will Heilmer is the batter. He popped up to the first base, or to the pitcher, I should say. His first time up, that was back in the first inning. Want to know the count? Here's a set and the pitch from Erdman. Fastball in there, strike 1.
Work in the zone now, kid.
And here's the set. And here's a pitch. Fastball grounded out towards short. Boloski's bobbles it, throw over to first base is wide, and that's going to score a run. Here's a throw, possibly down to second base. Nope. It'll be an error on Belaski, and 2 runs will score on that error.
2 runs coming on the air.
So it'll be E6. Heilmer does reach second base on the same error, so 1 error on the play. No RBI for Heilmer. 2 runs come across the score and makes it 5-0 as Brodina and Palmer both score. Pitches over for a strike to Mason Palmer. Mason is playing at shortstop. He walked his first time, stole a base, but he eventually got stranded on third in the first inning. Takes a ball up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch, swinging at a chopper at the plate, it's foul. On his backswing, he hit the ball again. It's not 2 foul balls, just the 1.
And as evening approaches, or turning on a few lights around here, I had a couple glitches, so I think apologies for the glitch there, but I think we're all straightened up.
Here's a pitch, off speed is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, grounded foul. Got the Kindred fire and rescue trucks out there in the outfield, headed out somewhere. Quiet community of Kindred. Here's a fastball up to Mason Palmer. Full count, 2 outs, runner on second base, 5-0 lead for Devils Lake. And the pitch, he missed. Ball 4, and Mason Palmer draws a walk. And that'll bring up Easton Kraft. Devils Lake will send their 9th man to the plate in Easton Kraft. Kraft flew out to right field to end the first inning. I have 7 walks charged to Erdman. He has yet to allow a hit. Trying to minimize the damage here, trying to work on Easton Kraft to get out of this inning. And here's a set fastball hit high in the air to right center field. This ball's hit pretty hard. Jack McDonald out there runs it down. Nice running catch for Jack McDonald, and he saves a couple of runs out there for the 3rd out of the inning. Storm strike for 4 runs, and they lead it by a score of 5-0 with the Vikings coming to bat in the bottom of the 2nd inning on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
How was that bite of pizza?
Very good, very good.
You just couldn't resist. I know.
I could not.
I know.
Squeezed in a bite in between innings here. Stanley Belaski will lead off the bottom of the 2nd inning, followed by Gabe Iverson and Dylan Stone.
That is our Ice Wind pizza we are trying out tonight from over at Mapleton. So we have to head over and let us know your comments on what you think of that.
It's very good.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Here's a 1-ball, 1-strike pitch, swinging a foul ball over the press box. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the smaller kids out there, they can track down those foul balls and take them to the concession stand and get a little treat. I'm not sure what this year's treat is, but I'm sure they're all over that.
Fastball from Rainsbury goes past Stanley Belaski. Strikeout number 1 for Rainsbury.
First out of the inning brings up number 8.
Blasky goes down and strikes, brings up Gabe Iverson. In the first game, he ripped a double down the left field line. Last night's ball game, he had another double and followed by a triple. In the B Legion matchups, gets a designated hitter start in game 2 of this doubleheader. Takes ball 1, and this ball hit him. That hit him hard.
Right between the shoulder blades, it looked like
Yep.
to me.
And he picked up the ball and kind of lobbed it back to the pitcher. Didn't quite make it there, but that hurt. That hurt. It looked like it hurt, and Gabe's got a little smile on. But that smarts.
He didn't have Coach Eggman rub it for him, so that's
Yeah.
rub some dirt on it, huh?
When you get hit in that elbow area, that's very extremely painful. Now batting is Dylan Stone, playing at third base in game 2. Takes ball 1. Dylan Stone, right-handed hitter, wears number 9 with these American flag type jerseys. Here's a pitch from Brody Rainsbury. Right-hander kicks and fires, fastball up. 3 balls and no strikes. This next pitch from Rainsbury will be only pitch number 20 for him. Throw over to first base is not in time. Iverson dives back safely. Andy Traum is on deck. And the pitch, fastball is away, and Stone draws a walk.
Iverson up to second. That brings up number 10, second baseman, Andy Traum.
Iverson down to second base. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Andy Traum steps to the plate. Traum was 0 for 2 in game 1. A couple of groundouts at second base. New ball game, trying to get things started. Get on the board for the Vikings. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ben Larson threw a great ball game for Devils Lake, and so did Jack McDonald. Jack McDonald kind of gets the hard luck loss, but he pitched very well. Swinging a high fly ball into left center field. Olson tracks it down, makes a catch, throws it back into the infield, and there's 2 down on the fly out to center field. Brings up Jack McDonald. He pitched that great game in the first, and he has had a designated hitter for him as well, so he's getting his first plate appearance of the evening. Starting out in right field in this ballgame. Here's a set, here's a pitch, it's a fastball away, ball 1. If you're wondering where Kylan Swenson is, he's up at Mayville State. He's training for the Shrine Bowl. He's playing in the Shrine Bowl on Saturday. 1-0 pitch is over for a strike. Here's a 1-1. Fastball, swinging a foul down the first baseline, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's a set, and the 1-2 pitch is a fastball, misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second, 2 down. Bottom of the second inning, 5-0 lead for Devils Lake. Here's a 2-2. Out of the stretch. Fastball, swing and a miss. McDonald goes down on strikes, and that ends the inning for the Vikings. No runs, no hits, couple of runners left aboard. At the end of 2, we head to the top of the third inning. It's a 5-0 lead for Devils Lake on yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
We head to the top of the third inning. Devils Lake Storm coming to bat. They'll send Trayson-Beck, Ben Larson, and Ben Brodina to bat in the top of the third inning. Kelby Erdman starts the third inning. He's thrown 61 pitches, given up the 5 runs, hasn't allowed a hit. Has walked some batters. Trying to do battle, trying to throw up a 0. Here's a fastball, down low, ball 1. Trayson-Beck walked in the second, came around to score in the second inning. Takes a fastball over for a strike. Good night for baseball, not a lot of wind.
No, it's kind of like the first game. There was no wind, and then it picked up a little bit, but now it's just flag out there in center is not even moving.
This pitch misses up. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Trayson-Beck the batter. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Erdman looks on. Here's a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Fastball swinging a little looper into left field. That's going to... Oh, what a diving catch by Carson Getty. I thought for sure that was going to fall in there for a base hit. But Carson Getty, a diving play coming in on the ball. What a great catch. Dan Nathan calling for a Sports Center top 10. That was a great catch out in left field by Carson Getty. 1 out.
It is captured on your live event.
There's a pop-up foul. It's playable, but Sawyer just couldn't quite get there. It wasn't very high. He was trying to find it up in the air, and he just couldn't quite get there. So strike 1.
Yep, somebody can pull that clip off of yourliveevent.com later. It's pretty good.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Erdman. That's in there for a strike. Not sure if he called it on the swing or on the pitch, but I think either one would have resulted in a strike. Here's the 0-2 pitch, off speed, fouled back. Just got a piece of it, fouled it back to the screen. Erdman attacking the strike zone here in the third inning. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Out of the full windup for Kelby. Fastball, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Graham Hess at first base. Andy Traum at second. Dylan Stone at third base. Here's a pitch. Fastball is up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stanley Belaski, the left fielder, Carson Getty, made that great catch, and we got Baumgarten out in center field, and Jack McDonald did right. Here's a pitch, fastball ripped into left. This ball's hit hard, but right at Carson Getty, and there's 2 outs. So that's a line out to left field, but he gets the second out of the inning. 3 in a row set down by Kelby Erdman now. Erdman attacking the strike zone, working ahead in the count. That'll bring up Ben Brodina. He walked in the second inning, came around to score. And here's a pitch. Swinging a high fly ball into center field. Brady Baumgarten is there. He's got it, makes a catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Erdman. And at the end of 2.5, we head to the bottom of the third inning. 5-0 lead for Devils Lake with the Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
And we head to the bottom of the third inning. Kindred Vikings coming to bat. We'll start with the top of the order. Brady Baumgarten will lead off, followed by Carson Getty and Sawyer Hess. Baumgarten ripped a single his first time up on the first pitch of the ball game to the Vikings. Starting pitcher, Brody Rainsbury, has thrown 2 shutout innings. Working quickly, he's only thrown 27 pitches. Here's a set by Rainsbury. Fastball, it hit him. And Baumgarten is aboard for the second time tonight. Carson Getty steps to the plate. He bounced into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. Hit the ball hard, but right at the second baseman, they turned it up the middle. It's hard to double up Carson Getty. He's got some wheels. He can run pretty fast. Baumgarten takes off. The pitch is down low. Throw down to second base is not even close. Stolen base for Baumgarten. Brady got a great jump right there. So he steals second base. The pitch was a ball to Carson. Brody Rainsbury trying to keep this lead at 5. Throws a fastball, bounce into the hole on the left side. That's through for a base hit. He's going to be held up as the ball reached shallow left field. But number 3, Will Heilmer, the left fielder, charged it nicely. Holds a runner at third base, so it's a base hit for Carson Getty. Runners at first and third with nobody out. And that brings up Sawyer Hess, the catcher. He walked his first time up. Second hit for the Vikings. And here's a pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. The runner does go, and Carson Getty slides, kind of, and dove on to second base.
I think he was going to slide, and then he decided maybe I don't have to, and then he kind of went over the base a little bit.
Well, so he was listening to his bench because they were saying up, 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 so he's going to slide, then he was going to stand, and then he just kind of fell down. Here's a little looper into right center field. That's going to fall in there for a hit. 1 run is going to score. Getty will reach third. Getty read that very nicely. He knew it was going to fall in there, and he almost ran Brady Baumgarten off at third. Brady was kind of holding up to see if that ball was going to fall in there, and the Vikings come up with their first run of the night on an RBI single from Sawyer Hess. Getty's on third base, Sawyer Hess on first. Sawyer can run as well, so see if they put him in motion to try to get some things going here. Graham Hess is the batter, first baseman, lined out to the first baseman his first time up. Swing and loops one into shallow center field, but Palmer's back there. He makes the catch. Not far enough to score Getty from third base. So 1 down. Graham Hess pops up to the second baseman. That brings up Stanley Belaski. Went down and strikes his first time up. That started the second inning. And the pitch. Line drive into right center field. The right fielder comes over, makes the catch, throw to the plate. Will be up the line and not nearly in time. And Getty scores to make it 5-2 in favor of Devils Lake. That's a sacrifice fly to right field for Belaski. And out number 2. Gabe Iverson steps to the plate. They did appeal down to first base. I'm not really sure what for. I think a little conference out on the mound here between the umpires. Sawyer Hess advanced to second base on the sacrifice fly on the throw. And they're going to say he's safe. So he did go back to first base, they're saying. head coach Jeff Carpenter comes out to make some arguments. So on the tag, Getty scored. What they're saying is that Sawyer Hess did not go back to first base and tag up properly. If he caught the ball in right field and then they threw it to the plate, Sawyer still has to go back to first base and tag up. I did not see whether he did or did not do that. And now Carpenter, the head coach for Devils Lake, still kind of questioning this. He believes that Sawyer never went back to first base and took second base. So Sawyer's going to be safe at second base. It is a 5-2 score. Devils Lake on top of Kindred. Sacrifice fly for Stanley Belaski, scored Carson. Now Gabe Iverson's up. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Hits this one foul. And out of play, strike one. Owen won the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swinging a high pop fly, shallow right field. Out goes the second baseman, Palmer. He calmly makes a catch, and that's 3 outs. 2 runs do come across for the Vikings. Their first 2 runs of the night. An RBI single and a sacrifice fly scores the runs. At the end of 3 innings, it's a 5-2 lead for Devils Lake, and they'll come to bat in the top of the 4th on yourliveevent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
We head to the top of the 4th inning. Devils Lake coming to bat. They'll have Taden Tripke, the 9th batter, followed by the 1 and 2 hitters, Max Palmer and Faustin Olson. Devils Lake scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second inning, and Kindred got their runs in the 3rd. Brings us to a 5-2 score. Devils Lake on top. Here's a pitch from Kelby Erdman. It's an off-speed pitch over for a strike. Taden Tripke, no official at-bat. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Swings and misses. 0-2 the count. And here's the pitch. I didn't see this, but Max Bernier's in at catcher now. Not sure who he's in for. So Max is in at catcher.
Well, Sawyer was. Where's Sawyer?
And Sawyer Hess might have come out of the game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, misses away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Max in at catcher. Kelby Erdman on the mound. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Max tried to frame it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Erdman. Grounded on the ground to Andy Traum. He throws over to first base, and Graham Hess is there for the 4-3 put down. Yeah, hit the lip out there, the seam between the infield and the dirt. And then it did not come up on Andy Traum. So 1 away. Erdman has set down 5 in a row. Back to the top of the order, in the top of the 4th inning, Max Palmer, the batter. He's flown out to center and walked and scored a run. He also has a stolen base. So I'm going to assume Max is in the 3rd hole for Sawyer. Here's a pitch from Erdman in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. And here's a pitch from Erdman. Fastball, swing, and a line drive into left center field. Getty on the run, another diving catch. Unbelievable. Carson Getty with 2 diving catches. Putting on a clinic out in left field is Carson Getty. 2 down. 6 in a row set down by Erdman. And special thanks to Carson Getty on 2 diving catches. Doing well. Here's a ground ball pounded out to short. Belaski has it. Fires onto first base in time. And we got ourselves another 1-2-3 inning for Erdman. And a 1-2-3 inning sets down Devil's Lake in the top of the 4th inning. And we head to the bottom of the 4th. It's a 5-2 lead for Devil's Lake on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. How about Kelby Erdman? He set down 7 batters in a row after walking some batters and giving up the 5-0 lead, but the Kindred Vikings strike for 2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Kelby Erdman answers quickly back and sets them down 1-2-3 again. Dylan Stone, Andy Traum, and Jack McDonald will bat for the Vikings. First pitch to Dylan Stone is a fastball up, ball 1. Stone walked his first time up. Rainsbury has thrown a good game for Devils Lake, followed by the great pitching performance by Ben Larson. Swing and a miss by Stone. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Rainsbury throws out of the stretch, fires a fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next pitch will be pitch number 40 for Rainsbury. Here's the 1-2, fastball down low in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andy Traum is on deck. Here's a pitch from Rainsbury. Fastball laced at the shortstop, and I'm going to give Dylan Stone a single on that. That ball was very hard hit. Very difficult play for the shortstop, Mason Palmer. I'm scoring at a base hit all the way. 4th hit now for the Vikings. Brings up Andy Traum. He flew out to center field his first time up. 5 runs, no hits, no errors for Devils Lake. Kindred with 2 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Traum up, McDonald on deck. Here's a pitch from Rainsbury, fastball in. Dylan Stone on at first base. Here's a pitch. 1-0 fastballs across. 1 ball, 1 strike. And here's a 1-1 delivery from Rainsbury. High pop fly foul. Kind of over the third base dugout into the evergreens back in there.
All right, fight through it. Let's go.
Vikings trying to claw their way back into this one. They were down by 5. Now they're down by 3. Off speed. Somehow missed Andy Traum. Went above his head. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Fastball misses away. Rainsbury has a full count. This might be his very first 3-ball count. He hasn't had a lot of them. Here's a pitch, and he missed. He walked him. No, that's his second walk issued, or third walk issued, I should say. So he's clearly had a ball 3 count on several batters. Runners on first and second. Jack McDonald, the batter, he struck out his first time. He's 0 for 1. So runners on first and second, nobody out. Let's see if he's laying down a bunt here to move the runners up. And he does so, and he tries to lay one down, but it goes foul, strike 1. So Jack trying to sacrifice his at-bat to move the runners into scoring position. Jack's the 9th batter, top of the order, coming up after him. Here's the 0-1. Fastball is bunted on the ground. It's pretty hard to the pitcher. He's going to look at third, but nobody's there. He's going to get the out at first, so it's going to be a sacrifice bunt for Jack McDonald. A 1-4 put-out, I believe the second baseman covered, so Palmer covered. Got the first out of the inning. Dylan Stone up to third, Traum up to second. Back to the top of the order. Brady Baumgarten steps up. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first. It was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the third. Here's a ground ball, hit hard up the middle. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Another one being waved to the plate. It'll be cut off in the infield and not in time. A big 2-run single for Brady Baumgarten. And just like that, Vikings are right back into this one. A 2-run single for Brady Baumgarten. Scores Dylan Stone. It scores Traum. And it's a 5-4 lead for Devils Lake. And there's going to be a coach's visit out on the mound. Rainsbury's thrown a very good baseball game tonight thus far. Ran into some trouble. He allowed a single, then he allowed a walk, then a sacrifice bunt, then a big 2-run single for Brady Baumgarten. So the sacrifice bunt pays off.
And that fancy camera work brought to you by B Whip. Mr. Bryce Whipple up here with the Kindred Vikings alumni here. He used to play with a lot of these boys that are out here tonight and doing Legion ball and cheering them on tonight.
Yeah, we got to call some of your games last year. A lot of fun. Here's a pitch. Runner goes. The throw down to second base is not in time. Baumgarten steals second base.
The Whipple Triple. I believe there is a T-shirt somewhere in the world that represents Bryce's work and all the great work that he did as a catcher, too. So hopefully he has words of wisdom.
Here's a pitch to Carson Getty. He fouls it back. Getty's 1 for 2. He bounced into a double play and singled and scored a run in the third. He also added a stolen base. 5-4 lead for Devils Lake. Vikings trying to chip their way back into this one. Here's the set and the pitch off speed, fouled away again. Sawyer Hess is on deck, so he's going to re-enter the ball game after Max caught 1 inning. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Off speed. Check swing. Did he go? So Baumgarten is going to reach on the wild pitch. They did, I think they said that Carson Getty swung the bat, so he's going to reach safely on the wild pitch as well. So he strikes out, but reaches first base on the wild pitch. So no out recorded, but it does go down as a strikeout, nonetheless, statistically, for the pitcher Rainsbury. So Sawyer Hess looks like he's going to re-enter the ball game in the catcher spot in the 3-hole. So Max Bernier came in and caught 1 inning, and Sawyer Hess re-enters. He's 1 for 1. He walked and singled and drove in a run. So 1 for 1 officially with a run batted in. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second is cut off, and Getty steals second base. So the go-ahead run is now in scoring position for the Vikings here in the bottom of the 4th. Rainsbury looks on, kicks and fires, off speed is in there for a strike. Here's the 0-2 set and the pitch, fastball In there for strike 3. He goes down looking. Out number 2. That's what brings up Graham Hess. He's lined out to the first baseman and popped out to second base. So 0 for 2 officially. Trying to get this game tied. A bloop single scores 2 runs. Getty's got some speed. And here's the set. Here's a pitch. It's a fastball away. Ball 1. 58 pitches now for Rainsbury. Stanley Belaski is on deck. Here's a 1-0 set and the pitch. Fastball swinging a high fly ball down the right field line. Right fielder comes on and makes the catch calmly in right field, and that ends the side. However, the Vikings do come up with 2 runs on a big 2-run single by Brady Baumgarten. And at the end of 4, it's 5-4 in favor of Devils Lake. You're watching American Legion Baseball on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
We head to the top of the 5th inning. Devils Lake still on top by a score of 5-4. Kelby Erdman answers the bell. He'll come out to pitch here in the top of the 5th inning. He set down 7 in a row. Will Heilmer is the batter. He's 0 for 2. He popped up and reached on an error. Pitch is over for a strike. 84 pitches now for Kelby Erdman. Here's number 85. Off speed is grounded out towards second base. Trom charges, fields it cleanly, throws on to first, 1 out. A 4-3 put out, and there's 1 away. 8 in a row set down. If I'm doing my math correctly here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Do know how to count apparently. 1 out. Mason Palmer steps to the plate. He's walked a couple of times. Will strand at each inning. Take strike 1. Here's the 0-1 delivery out of the full windup for Kelby Erdman. Off speed is down low. Off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the wind is non-existent out there. Very calm evening. Nice weather. Here's a 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. One ball, then 2 strikes. Here's a set and the pitch from Erdman. Fastball, swinging a little looper right at the shortstop, Belaski, and he makes a catch. We'll call it a pop-up to the shortstop for the second out. 9 in a row set down by Erdman. Easton Kraft steps up. He's flown out to right field in Jack McDonald twice. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Off speed is up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Off speed. Misses upstairs again. 2 balls and a strike. Easton Kraft, the batter. Trayson Beck is on deck. Here's a pitch. Misses down low. 3 balls and a strike. Now here's the set and the delivery from Erdman. Fastball swinging a ground ball, foul down the third base line. Count is full to Easton Kraft. 5-4 lead for Devils Lake. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high pop fly. In the infield, Trom's calling for it. Belaski's calling for it. Trom's a little bit taller. He makes a catch. But the out's recorded regardless. Erdman has set down 10 batters in a row, including 3 1-2-3 innings in a row. And we head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Devils Lake leading by a score of 5-4 on yourliveevent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Little 5th inning stretch time, a little take me out to the ball game as the Kindred Vikings will come to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. They'll send to the plate Stanley Belaski, Gabe Iverson, and Dylan Stone. Rainsbury still on the mound, throws a fastball, swung and fouled at the plate by Stanley. 0-1 the count. Rainsbury has thrown a nice game. He's only thrown 60 pitches. Given up the 4 runs, 5 hits. Breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. Here's Rainsbury's pitch. Fastball hit high in the air, left center field. Olsen camps underneath it, calls for it, makes a catch, and there's 1 away. That'll bring up Gabe Iverson. He's a DH in tonight's ball game. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and popped up to the second baseman in the 3rd. Getting some at-bats at the designated hitter role. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Dylan Stone on deck. Here's the 0-1. Fastball. Misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rainsbury kicks and fires. Fastball popped up foul. It's out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2 delivery. Off-speed pitch is in there for strike 3. Iverson goes down looking. 2 down.
Second out of the inning brings up number 9, third baseman Dylan Stone.
Rainsbury has set down 4 in a row, 5 if you count the strikeout where Carson Getty reached on the wild pitch. Dylan Stone has reached both times he's batted. He walked in the 2nd inning and singled and scored a run in the 4th. He led off that 4th inning with a single. Here's a pitch. Fastball popped in the air. Foul. It's out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 set and the pitch. Fastball in there for strike 2. And here's a 1-2 set and the pitch. Fastball swinging a ground ball chopped out towards the second baseman. Palmer has it, throws on to first base in time, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Vikings. Rainsbury sets them down in order. And at the end of 5, it's a 5-4 lead for Devils Lake over Kindred on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Head to the top of the sixth inning. Devils Lake coming to bat. They'll have Trayson Beck, Ben Larson, and Ben Brodina to bat. Kelby Erdman comes out. In case you're wondering, he has thrown 95 pitches, and he's really settled down. He's set down 10 batters in a row.
First baseman, Trayson Beck.
Trayson Beck steps up. He's walked and scored a run, added a stolen base, and he flew out to left. Here's the set. Here's a pitch from Erdman. Fastball. Got to the dirt, got to the turf. It's ball one. Ben Larson on deck. And here's a pitch from number 15. Fastball grounded out towards third. Stone fields it nicely, comes in charging, throws on to Graham Hess over at first base. And there's one out. 11 in a row set down by Kelby Erdman. You got to take this start from Kelby Erdman. He's really settled down, set down 11 in a row. He walked 7 batters through the first 2 innings. Hasn't walked anybody since. He's just attacking the strike zone. There's an off-speed pitch over for strike one to the right-handed hitter, Ben Larson. He's walked and lined out to left field. Here's a pitch, swinging a high pop fly down the right field line. Long run for Jack McDonald. It's going to fall foul down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes to count. The pitch limit in American Legion Baseball is 105. Kelby is at 99 now. Hopefully try to finish this inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes on his 100th pitch. Here's the set and the pitch. Off speed. Little line drive up the middle, and it's going to sneak through for a little single up the middle. Breaks the out streak on a little kind of a seeing eye single up the middle. And I tell you what, even though there's 5 runs up on the board, there were 7 walks. That was the first hit. So Devils Lake, Ben Larson breaks up the no-no here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike. To Ben Brodina. He's walked and scored a run, flew out to center field. So the first hit allowed by Kelby Erdman. Here's the 0-1 pitch, fastball up. Sawyer Hess did re-enter the ball game, so he's back in at catcher. Here's a 1-1 set, and the pitch, off speed, over for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So this next pitch will be Kelby's 105th. So this will be the last batter he can face. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground ball, pounded out towards shortstop. They'll go to second for 1. Throw on to first base won't be in time. So it'll be a fielder's choice, a 6-4 putout. Belaski to Trom for the second out of the inning, and that'll be it for Kelby Erdman as Josh Almaris makes a trek out to the mound. We'll find out who's coming on to pitch. There is somebody warming in the pen, and we'll take a break on yourliveevent.com.
Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd, our world certified public accountant, has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
And we're back. We head to the, we're still in the top of the sixth inning. Gabe Iverson is your new pitcher. And I tell you what a pitching performance by Kelby Erdman. He set down 12 of the last 13 batters that he faced after walking 7 batters through the first 2 innings, allowing 5 runs. Only 2 were earned. So the final line, keeping in mind that the runner on first base is still his responsibility. 5 2/3 innings, allows only the 1 hit, 5 runs, but only 2 earned. Here's a pitch in the dirt from Gabe Iverson.
Who's batting, coach? 13.
Now they got a pitch hitter. Not really sure who's batting up here. Oh, it's Sundin.
13.
Landon Sundin is the batter. He's a right-handed batter. And here's a pitch. It's over for a strike. So to finish that line on Erdman, 5 2/3, 1 hit allowed, 5 runs, only 2 earned, 7 walks, and 1 strikeout. But again, setting down the last 12 of 13 batters. Here's a ball in the dirt. Ben Brodino, who reached on a fielder's choice, will get down to second base on the wild pitch. Right-handed pitcher Gabe Iverson into pitch. He's got a 3-1 count on the batter.
Get a fly ball here, eh?
Landon Sundin.
Some for your outfielders.
And here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Sundin is pinch hitting for Taden Tripke, who was 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. And here's a pitch, he walked him. So Iverson faces the first batter, and he walks him. Puts runners at first and second. Josh Almaris will go out and talk to his pitcher. Just might be one of those situations where he saw something that Gabe was doing and just wanted to talk to his pitcher. He doesn't need his catcher. He doesn't need the rest of the infield, and he's got to say a few things to Gabe out there. Usually in this situation, he saw something, and he wants to go out there and talk to the pitcher. So number 4, Taden Tripke will re-enter, and he'll run for Sundin, who walked. He pinch hit for Tripke, so Tripke will re-enter the ball game. So that means that Landon Sundin is done, and he cannot re-enter the ball game.
Get a fly ball for us, eh?
Max Palmer is the batter. Back to the top of the order for Devils Lake. First pitch to him is over for a strike. Max Palmer has flown out, walked and scored a run, and lined out to left field. Great play out in left field by Carson Getty. And here's a 0-1. Misses down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on first and second. There's 2 outs. And the 1-1 set, and the pitch is a fastball down low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Let that defense work.
And here's the 2-1 pitch. Misses down low. It's going to get away, and 1 runner will advance. 2 runners will advance. Brodina goes down to third base on the wild pitch or pass ball. Wild pitch. 3 balls and a strike to the right-handed hitter, Max Palmer. And he takes outside. He walked him. That'll bring up Foston Olson. And now we're going to have another pitching change as Josh Omeros goes out to talk to his pitcher. Gabe Iverson has walked the 2 batters he's faced. I don't see anybody warming up in the pen.
I don't think it's a change.
It has to be because it's a second visit to the mound.
Yeah,
so
no one's warming up, though.
Yeah. He'll just probably bring in somebody that's already out there. There wasn't anybody warming up in the pen. He didn't bring anybody with him. So it looks like it'll be Stanley Belaski coming into pitch. And we'll take a break with this pitching change, and we'll be back after this on yourliveevent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft-serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
We'll have a straight switch. Shortstop Stanley Belaski will come into pitch. Gabe Iverson faced 2 batters and walked them both. He'll move back over to shortstop, so a straight switch. Stanley Belaski will come in. Tight situation, bases loaded. 2 outs, however, and Foston Olson, the batter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And the pitch from Belaski is an off-speed pitch, misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Olson, the center fielder, walked in the first, scored a run, struck out looking, grounded out. Here's the pitch, fastball, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the set, and the pitch, fastball. Wow, missed somewhere. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 count to the batter. And here's the set, and the pitch from Belaski in there for a strike, 3-1. Hitters count for Foston Olson. Will Heilmer on deck for Devils Lake. Here's the pitch, fastball, little grounder, out in front of the mound, tough play, throws by Belaski, is up the line, and a run will score. I think we're going to have to give him an infield base hit. But Belaski did all he could do. He tried to make a throw off balance. It'll be an infield single, an RBI single. Palmer moves up to second. Tripke moves up to third base. Brodina scores to make it 6-4 in favor of Devils Lake. And here's a pitch. It's an off-speed pitch over for a strike. That'll end the line for Kelby Erdman. That last run was charged to him, so he gives up 6 runs and 3 earned in his 5 2/3 innings. 0-1 count from Belaski. Pitches in there. Upstairs, ball 1.
And that wind just picked up just here in the last few minutes. The flag's straight out there, and you can just feel the temperature drop just a little bit.
I got wrappers blowing all over the place. My scorebook's blowing all over the place. Swinging a foul.
Can hear that wind in your mic a little bit more, too.
1-2 the count. Stanley Belaski trying to work out of this bases loaded jam. Here's a pitch off speed in there for strike 3. And Heilmer goes down on strikes. And that ends at the top of the 6th inning. Devils Lake does strike for a run, and they lead it by a score of 6-4 with the Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
We're headed into the bottom of the 6th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Kindred Vikings coming to bat. They're down by a score of 6-4. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Vikings. Andy Traum will lead it off. He's a second baseman. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to center and walked and scored a run back in the 4th.
For the Vikings here in the 6th, number 10, second baseman, Andy Traum.
Good pitching performance by Kelby Erdman. Struggled in the first couple innings and made it a good quality start. He goes 5 2/3, allows the 1 hit, 6 runs, 3 earned, 7 walks, 1 strikeout. So good job by him. 6-4 lead. Here's Rainsbury. Here's the pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. It's an 0-2 count now to Andy Traum. Rainsbury has had a good night pitching himself. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Curveball in the dirt. His line so far, 5 innings, 5 hits allowed, 4 runs, all earned, walked 3 and struck out 5. Here's a pitch, swing and a ground ball out to the shortstop Palmer. He's got it, fires across the diamond in time for the out, and it's a 6-3 putout. There's 1 away. How about Rainsbury? Set down 6 in a row now. 7 if you count the wild pitch strikeout. Jack McDonald steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He struck out and laid down a nice sacrifice bunt that eventually led to a couple of runs for the Vikings. Swings and fouls it off at the plate.
Wheels on, 6.
Rainsbury throws out of the stretch full time. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Swinging and a ground ball right back to the pitcher, Rainsbury. He's got it. Throws on to his first baseman.
Come back here for out number 2. To the top of the order, number 1, center fielder.
Number 11, Trayson Burke, or Beck, I'm sorry, the first baseman over there. 1-3 put out. There's 2 down quickly. 7 in a row set down. Now by the pitcher, Rainsbury. Back to the top of the order. Brady Baumgarten has had a good evening in this second game. He's 2 for 2 with a big 2-run single. He was also hit by a pitch and scored a run. Here's a line drive base hit into left field. His 3rd hit of the ball game. Baumgarten, a threat to steal. He's got a couple of stolen bases on the game already. Throw down to second base is not in time. He steals second base. Here's the throw down to third. It is not in time. A stolen base for Baumgarten, and he'll reach third on the error by the catcher. First error for Devils Lake in this ballgame. Carson Getty up at the plate. He's bounced into a double play, singled and scored a run. Struck out, but reached on a wild pitch. He's stolen a couple of bases and made two fantastic catches out in left field. Trying to change the score here and keep this inning alive. 1-1 the count. He fouls that one past his head coach down the third baseline. Here's the pitch, 1-1, swing and a foul ball. Back out of play. Sawyer Hess is on deck. Rainsbury, this will be pitch number 82. Here's a set, here's a pitch. Swing and a pop up behind third base. He's got a chance, and he goes over and makes a catch in foul territory. Does the third baseman. And now we'll go to the top of the 7th inning. Vikings don't score any runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Find themselves down by a score of 6-4 on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
We head to the top of the 7th inning. Devils Lake, the Storm, will bat with their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Mason Palmer, Easton Kraft, and Trayson Beck. Stanley Blasky back out on the mound for the Vikings. Allowed that little infield single to score a run back in the 6th inning, but then he got the next batter on strikes. Here's the first pitch to Mason Palmer. He's 0 for 1. He has a couple of walks, and he popped up to the shortstop. Here's a pitch by Belaski. Off speed, over for a strike.
Good mix.
0-2 the count, Stanley Belaski. Has the pitch go behind the batter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Easton Kraft on deck. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swinging a little looper behind second base.
Andy's got that one.
Trom's got it. Calls for it. Makes a catch. And there's a 1 away. Easton Kraft steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3. He's flown out to right field a couple of times. Popped up to the second baseman once. Belaski trying to keep the lead to 2 runs. First pitch is an off-speed pitch upstairs, ball 1. 6 runs, 2 hits, no errors. There was an error on Devils Lake. And then Kindred with 4 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. 2 balls and no strikes. The count to Easton Kraft. Here's the set, here's the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Belaski. Breaking ball, misses down low. 3 balls and a strike. And here's a pitch. Fastball swinging Line drive into shallow left field. That'll fall for a base hit for Easton Kraft. He's 1 for 4. That'll bring up Trayson Beck. He walked, scored a run in the second, flew out in the third, grounded out in the sixth. He's 0 for 2 officially with a run scored. Velasquez gets his sign, throws a breaking ball over for strike 1 to Trayson Beck. And here's the set and the pitch. Over for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set. Here's the 0-2. Fastball is up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ben Larson is on deck.
Their coach has called a timeout.
After that last pitch, it looked like Trayson Beck kind of made a motion like he was going down to first base, like he thought it hit him or he thought it was ball 4, but it was only ball 1. I'm not really sure what the motion was. Coach wanted to talk to him a little bit. Here's the pitch, swinging a high pop fly. This is playable. It's in foul territory. Sawyer Hess goes back, makes the catch in foul territory, and the out is recorded. A pop foul to the catcher.
Our camera doesn't quite get past the wall over there, but
yeah. Gonna have to trust us. He caught it. So Sawyer Hess made the catch down there. Ben Larson, the batter. He's 1 for 2. He walked, scored a run, lined out to left, and singled in the 6th inning. First pitch to him is a strike. And the pitch, fastball in there for a strike.
Going up the zone, 0.
0-2 the count. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball upstairs. One and 2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Devils Lake comes up short. No runs in the top of the 7th inning. They lead it by a score of 6-4 with the Vikings coming to bat in their last hopes in the bottom of the 7th inning on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd Our World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
And we're back. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good evening.
Bryce Whipple helping out a little bit here too, is running the camera for us. Vikings down to their last hopes. Bottom of the 7th inning. Sawyer Hess will bat. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, RBI single, and a strikeout. Graham Hess to follow, followed by Stanley Belaski. Swinging a pop fly foul. And how about this pitcher? Brody Rainsbury has thrown 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He's walked 3, but struck out 5 batters. And this next pitch will be pitch number 85. So his pitch hit count is pretty good. Sawyer Hess trying to work his way on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. And the off-speed pitch misses up. Old timers used to say they're a bloop and a blast away from tying this ball game up. Here's a 2-2. Fastball swinging a high fly ball into center field. Olson can cover some ground. He tracks it down, and that's the first out of the inning. Graham Hess steps to the plate, wearing number 45 tonight. He's lined out to the first baseman, popped out to the second baseman, flew out to the right fielder. He's 0 for 3, trying to work his way on base any way he can. Here's a pitch. Fastball is up. Ball 1. Stanley Belaski is on deck. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball roped into center field. That's down for a base hit. And Hess has his first hit of the ball game. Hit number 7 for the Vikings, and that'll bring up number 0, the shortstop, Stanley Belaski. He's 0 for 2 officially. He struck out looking in the second, had a sacrifice fly to right field in the third, drove in a run, and flew out to center field back in the fifth. So there's your bloop. You got a base hit. Now you need that blast to tie it up. 1-0 the count. And the pitch is grounded out to shorts. Palmer to the elevator. Palmer. Throw on to first base in time for the 6-4-3 double play. And they turned it nicely, and that ends the ball game. Devils Lake wins it by a score of 6-4. And we'll come back with the Todd Wold CPA postgame show after this on yourliveevent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Todd Wold CPA post-game show. Kindred and Devils Lake did a doubleheader this evening. So for any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses, go online to wold-cpa.com.
And breaking this game down, Devils Lake came out, scored 1 run in the first, 4 in the second. The Vikings did bounce back, dropped 2 in the bottom of the third, 2 in the bottom of the fourth, made it a 5-4 ball game. However, Devils Lake would add a run in the top of the sixth and win this one by a score of 6-4. Your winning pitcher is Brody Rainsbury. He goes a complete game, throws 7 innings, allows the 7 hits, 4 runs and 4 earned, walks 3 and strikes out 5. The hitting for Devils Lake looks like this. They only had 3 hits, but they scored some runs. They scored 6 runs, and that's the statistic that matters, as Olson, the center fielder, went 1 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. And Kraft had 1 hit. He was 1 for 4, and Ben Larson went 1 for 3. He broke up that no-hitter with a ground ball single and later scored a run as well. For the Kindred Vikings, Kelby Erdman will take the loss. Despite going 5 2/3 innings, he struggled a little bit in the first 2 innings. He walked 7 batters in the first 2 innings, but he came back and he wound up setting down 12 of the last 13 batters that he faced, and then he had too many pitches, so he had to come out of the ball game. So Kelby Erdman goes 5 2/3, allows only the 1 hit, 6 runs, only 3 earned, walked 7 and struck out 1. Gabe Iverson came in and walked a couple of batters. Then Stanley Belaski closed it out for the Vikings. He went in inning and a third, allowed 2 hits, no runs, and he struck out 2 batters, didn't walk anybody. Hitting stars for the Vikings, how about Brady Baumgarten? He goes 3 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. At the time, he had a 2-run single that brought the Vikings within 1 run. Carson Getty played a great game out in left field, a couple of diving catches out in left field. And he at the plate, he went 1 for 4 with a run scored. Sawyer Hess had an RBI single, and so he was 1 for 3. And Graham Hess went 1 for 4. Dylan Stone had a hit. So now we'll bring us to the player of the game.
Yeah, the Enbridge player of the game. Life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities.
And I think we're going to have to go with the starting pitcher for Devils Lake once again. Ben Larson was the starting pitcher in Game 1. He pitched a great game. Brody Rainsbury, the pitcher in Game 2, he goes the distance, goes that 7 innings, allows the 7 hits and the 4 runs, but he kept his team in the ball game. He only threw a total of 91 pitches. He walked 3, struck out 5. He's the winning pitcher as they come away with this one. And Devils Lake wins it by a score of 6-4. So now we'll talk about the connection of the game.
Yeah, the connection of the match brought to you by HTC. Discover local reliability that you can trust. Halstead Telephone, it's how to connect. HalsteadTel.com.
And beautiful. And I'm going to give this one to Kelby Erdman. Kelby Erdman started off, he walked 7 batters, and and the connection of the game is keeping his head in the game and keeping a positive attitude and going out there and working, and he wound up setting down the 12 of the last 13 batters he faced to complete the 5 2/3 innings pitched. And I got to do a little shout out to Carson Getty as well for the connection of the game out in left field. A couple of diving catches that were amazing out there as well. So
yeah, it looks like we wrapped up the games just in time. I panned over a little bit to the rain that's about to come in, a little bit of lightning starting up. Still a little ways off, but moving in here. So we wrapped up a nice evening of baseball, and good night for both teams on the hill.
Yeah, the Storm come away with a couple of wins. They win the first one 2-0, and they win the second one by a score of 6-4 over the Vikings. And what a beautiful night for baseball. A little bit of lightning, a little bit of rain moving in, like Wendy said, and we'll wrap things up. Thanks for watching, everybody, on YourLiveEvent.com.